The water here in the village of Port Jefferson coming in a lot faster than village officials expected. Check out what it looks like. When we got here this morning, this was all dry. Now my boots are covered, and of course it's only going to get worse. Check out this massive tree that just was totally uprooted, took the fence with it. I think the lucky part in this situation is that it didn't pull the power line down. These rust spots are one indication of how long water was sitting inside this room, because the spots are actually from chairs that were inside the classroom. But now the concern is finding less obvious spots where contaminated water could have been hiding, like underneath or behind these cabinets. We're here in West Islip along Sequam's Lane Center, and a lot of these homes were just totally taken out. The street is totally flooded, and this is one of the most dramatic evidences of the hurricane that we've seen. Take a look at this house. At the end of 30 days, the only things that will be left are these concrete stanchions, which were actually part of the original design of the boardwalk. Because of the tidal surge, many of the house barges here in Seaford Harbor were moved off of the water and into the middle of the street, and you can see the crane behind me this morning moving some of those house barges back to where they belong. To say the smell is bad here would be a bit of an understatement. As you can see behind me, raw sewage is already spilling out into the street in this Bay Park neighborhood, and residents tell me that now the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy has gone from bad to worse. Hurricane Sandy not only flooded homes, but for residents like Gail Howell, there's another worry: sewage.
It's already erupted, and you can smell it when you come down from Rame Avenue or you come down Baisley, and it just stinks.
The hurricane flooded the Bay Park sewage treatment plant with 9.5 feet of salt water. Then this morning a fire broke out, and now the plant can't operate. Nassau County Executive Ed Mangano has ordered a conserve water alert for 550,000 customers. That includes people west of the Meadowbrook and south of the LIE. He says limit showers and even how many times you flush the toilet.
The more water you put down your drain or through your septic system, it's going to add pressure on this, and you're going to get it back.
Engineers are now installing new pumps that are being brought in from around the state and even Maryland to start relieving the pressure as a short-term fix. In the coming days, sewage will be diverted to Rockaway Channel, but the long-term plan is to repair the facility, which could take up to a year. But the big concern for neighbors is it's safe.
And worst of all is the stench, the smell from the raw sewage that's coming up from the plant. It's just not safe. It's not healthy.
The Nassau Commissioner of Health says people don't have to worry about airborne illnesses, but you can get sick from touching any sewage.
So if people use good hand washing skills, wash their hands with soap and water after doing the work on their homes, they should be able to prevent disease.
But for these residents, that's not enough.
I bought bleach. I triple filter my water, and I'm just going to use the bleach just in case.
Yeah, once toilets go, I'm out of here.
Now, it is important to note that County Executive Mangano and the Nassau County Commissioner of Health did tell me that the water here is safe to drink. This conserve water order only deals with water that you're putting down the drain. We are in Bay Park tonight. Elyse Evans, News 12, Long Island. The student who was hit was here waiting for the bus with a group of girls. When they saw the accident was about to happen, they ran. The girl slipped and ended up underneath the bus when the crash happened. Police have still not released the identity of the couple that was found inside the van. Officers, they tell me they're not sure what led to the shooting, but they do say it was a gruesome scene when they arrived this morning. Seems that everyone finds an option that works for them. And for me, well, check it out. I've made a lot of new friends here at the kiddie pool. Certainly not the type of fireworks you want to be hearing about over the holiday, especially not in your own neighborhood. But that was the case yesterday when Suffolk County Police arrested 34-year-old Ronald Walker and charged him with reckless endangerment. The protesters that are not at Zuccotti Park, some are in this area behind me around 6th and Canal in Lower Manhattan. Now, Mayor Bloomberg called the Occupy Wall Street protest at Zuccotti Park an intolerable situation, and that's what led to his decision to send the protesters packing from the place they've called home for the past 2 months. Someone who was a mentor to others in the unit, and that was certainly evident with the amount of officers, family, and friends who showed up to pay their respects. He's a veteran cop and father, but tonight his neighbors on Long Island are dealing with the news that he's been charged with stealing thousands from a home just a short drive away.
He says hello and goodbye, you know, very, very quiet neighbor.
People on this street in Copiague say 39-year-old Rafael Estacio is a quiet family man. He's also a New York City cop, so neighbors were astonished to learn he's been arrested for burglary.
I've always seen him as a very hard-working man. He'd be with his family. I've seen him play ball with his kid a couple times. You know, fix his house. Just seemed like an ordinary Joe.
Court documents show Estacio was arrested with 3 other men for stealing $2,500 worth of jewelry from this Lindenhurst home. No one answered at Estacio's door. He's a 14-year veteran of the Special Victims Unit. He also played on the NYPD baseball team.
Just doesn't make any sense. You know, you're a detective in New York, you make a great salary. You live in a nice neighborhood. Why throw it away?
Sources tell News 12 the Suffolk County District Attorney is investigating the case. The Daily News quotes sources who say the FBI is also involved, but an FBI spokesman refused to confirm that. Neighbors tell me this isn't the first time a burglary has happened on their Lindenhurst block, but they tell me the fact that a cop could be involved in this one is what's really concerning for them. Anna Lombardo's husband was an NYPD cop. She says it's disappointing, but says these days it's not surprising.
I guess in any profession, you're always going to find a bad apple.
It's the worst thing that ever happened to me in my life.
Distraught, Melissa LaBeach can't believe her younger brother is gone. She tells News 12 she saw her brother, 27-year-old Ainsworth Evans, lying in the street last night. Nassau police say he was shot outside their home on Ditmas Avenue in Uniondale around 5 Saturday evening. ShotSpotter alerted officers who responded and said Evans died within 10 minutes.
He's not a bad boy. He's a very ambitious boy. God have mercy, me love him too much, he'll fail me. My mother always tell me that good people don't live long.
So full of grief, his mother, Veronica Williams, broke down during our interview.
My belly, my pain in my stomach.
LaBeach says her brother went to Nassau College and wanted to be a police officer. She said he had already passed the Nassau, Suffolk, and City Police exams.
Never get in an altercation, never drink. He doesn't smoke. He goes to church every Sunday. It's not like he turned his life around. He was always this way. He was always a good guy.
While detectives are still looking into what may have led to this shooting, the victim's mother says about 2.5 months ago she received an unusual text message from her son. It said, "If I should die before you, I would like to be buried in Jamaica next to my grandfather without an expensive funeral."
We're open to the investigation right now, looking at everything that we possibly can. And we're also requesting the public's assistance.
I don't think it's random. I know somebody hurt him, and he didn't deserve it. Of all people, he didn't deserve it.
In Uniondale, Elyse Evans, News 12, Long Island. We begin with breaking news on that private yacht that sunk in Cold Spring Harbor. 3 children among the 27 people on board were killed. Many Long Islanders who are out of work hope when the president speaks this week, he'll offer a concrete plan that'll help get them back in the workforce. Oil prices could be falling as Libyan rebels gain control of their nation's oil refineries. There are hopes Libya will start exporting 1.6 million barrels of oil again once the civil war ends.